Hi, Simon here from DoublePoint. We recently launched WowMouse Pro for Wear OS, and in this video I want to show you what are the benefits, how to make most out of it, and yeah, how to install it, and what are the caveats, and yeah, let's jump into it. So first, I can recommend to install it either from the watch or from a desktop device and not from a phone, because as you're gonna see here, when I search for WowMouse on a phone, WowMouse, it tells me it doesn't work on this device. This is a German phone. So here you need to select basically to install WowMouse on your watch, because it's a watch-only app. Right, and here I'm gonna also show you how I do it from the watch. Usually I use the voice WowMouse. Doesn't matter, let's see, works. Okay, now let's open it. Yeah, usually in the beginning, when you haven't bought it already, you don't see this unlocked image. You're gonna see WowMouse free mode. I'm gonna show it in a second. But yeah, as soon as you unlock Pro, you're gonna walk through a flick tutorial. So now I have to flick down and down and down. And now flick up, up, up. Great job. And I need to allow connections to other devices. And yeah, but I want to show you free mode. We have a hidden setting where we can activate free mode for this purpose. So yeah, on first start, it's gonna look like that. You just have mouse, turn on, off, no left and right thing, except exiting the app. Yeah. What I want to do first is connecting it to my iPad. Yeah, so I have the choice between connect from host, so I connect from the iPad to the watch, or I initiate the connection from the watch via start scan. If I initiate from the watch, make sure that the other device, like the iPad, is in a discovery mode, so that it is basically searching for other devices, but also showing itself as a Bluetooth device. Usually that happens when you open the Bluetooth settings. So let's try maybe to use the start scan mode. For that, we also need to allow precise location. And yeah, we see already the S pad is my iPad. And then it should trigger this pairing code. There you go. Usually if you have issues with one way of connecting, just try the other one. And start scan usually works if you have your other device in pairing mode. Yeah, and now you see it's connected. And you see already my mouse is moving. Specifically on iPad, I can recommend to activate in accessibility touch, assistive touch, and make sure it's on, because it has this feature called perform touch gestures, and that simulates scroll or flick scroll in a very nice way. And yeah, this way you can basically navigate through your apps and also go to next songs and stuff. That is all possible in the free version. You can also hold and press and hold the icon, and then you can map tap and palm up tap to actions. Like tap is that, palm up tap is that. And usually I map like left click to tap and something like escape or back to palm up tap. But in the free version, we have a limited amount of mapping for going back. It's basically escape and backspace, but most of devices need some specific key combos that we have in WowMouse Pro. In this recent version, you can also use modifiers. Basically, it's similar like you hold down Shift or Windows button or Option or Control. Therefore, you go to Settings and you see this big Unlock Pro button. Click on it. You can read through what is new, what are the features. I can also recommend to start a free trial. With that, you get 80 tabs for free. You can then, if you are satisfied with the Pro features, just hit Purchase Pro. And as I got it already, I got an error, but usually you should get a notification on your companion phone, and it asks you to walk through the buying process. So these are basically mouse to control the mouse, and in Clicker I usually map it to arrow keys to navigate with directional movements like flick up, down, left, right through Netflix or something like that, or an operating system where you have like these kind of user interfaces. And very nice is also the play or the media mode, where you can basically trigger. One moment. Also, anything that is media like YouTube, Spotify, what else? Netflix can be controlled by that. And I can also recommend to go to advanced here to activate wrist to toggle wrist shake to toggle HID. That allows me to shake my wrist, and it enables or disables gesture detection, especially when I'm in environments like riding a bike or having jackets on where it touches the watch and could trigger false positives. This is very helpful. And I basically just activate it when I need it, and then I can pause and play and shake to turn it off again. That is very handy while doing workouts, while doing yoga, while or if you want to control YouTube while doing your workout at home. It's pretty powerful. We also have, like, if you do flick up, it increases volume, or flick down. If you have issues with the flick gesture, it might be because of you need to adjust the threshold. Like if you increase it, you have to do bigger movements. If you decrease it, you have to do very subtle movements. But I can recommend to have it like, if you use it indoors for TV stuff, at 2, and if you use it outdoors, increase it a lot to make big movements to avoid false positives. And also indoors, I can recommend to have double tap as default 300, and outdoors to something like 240. So you have to do faster double taps, so that this way you don't interfere with the flick tap. Sometimes it misinterprets like left and right, and that's where you have to decrease the flick time out to 40, for example. And now it's pretty smooth and works very responsive. But especially when I use it for navigation through Netflix, I want to do subtle movements, so it should be very subtle. Yeah, that's why I have it at home at 2 or something. Regarding the mappings, I created here under WowMouse and then mappings, a list of recommended mappings for each use case. Like, for example, if you're using an ebook reader, these mappings are recommended. If you're using it on iPad or iOS, these mappings, and macOS or Android TV. And we're also happy to know what your recommendations are for devices that are missing here. I also gonna add Windows soon. When you are connected for the first time, you may wonder how to get your hands in a comfortable position, because you feel like, oh, I need to stay here, and it feels very uncomfortable to have my hands here, and how to make it comfortable. So the solution is use the corners as a way to offset the mouse position. So if you reach the corner, the mouse stays, but your arm can continue to move. And then when you move back, it's centered. So basically go to a position where you want your arm, like here, but now you want the mouse in the center, so go a bit further to the right, and then it's somehow centered. So use the corners basically, or the edges, to adjust the offset of your mouse position. Another way is to move the mouse to the center, turn it off, position your arm where you want to have it, turn it on again, and from there you can go and have like comfy interactions. Okay, it turned out that I had to restart my iPad and my watch again to fix that assistive touch issue. So now I can swipe left and right, up and down again. If you want to access assistive touch quickly, add it to your control center just by holding press here and then search for assistive touch, and then here, assistive touch button, and this way you can easily turn it on and off whenever it's needed. I also mapped it to my side button, so when I press it 3 times, I can activate it here. Mentioned, for example, here we added this keyboard feature, so you can basically, you can type like wow mouse, and if you feel like typing sucks on your watch, you can also use voice to type, and in an ideal world, I haven't marked it. WowMouse. WowMouse. Yeah. It's not ideal, but you can also use swipe typing. Sometimes it's faster than using like a remote control, like the Apple remote, or the remote from Chromecast. It's also not ideal to just type for each letter, and that is much faster if you are used to touch swiping. Anyways, right, that is the keyboard mode. You can deactivate and activate it for each mode when you go down and toggle it off or on. You can also decide where you want to have the mouse cursor and where not, and and also decide, like, if your mouse cursor is too jittery when you want to interact, just increase smoothing, and that makes it a bit more calm, I would say. And here you can adjust sensitivity if it should be faster, but usually you have also the sensitivity setting on your host device. Next, I want to show you how you can pair WowMouse with an e-reader like Kobo. It also works with books, but unfortunately not with Kindle, as they just allow Bluetooth connection with speakers and not with HID devices like mouse or keyboard. That's a bit unfortunate, but yeah, Kindle. So here in the docs, I provided a mapping that I suggest for e-readers. So let's first adapt to this. Like tab is mapped to arrow right, get the page, and map to arrow left. And that's if you use it. So now here to go. Let's start scan. Go into settings. Then Bluetooth connection. Bluetooth on. It's also good to know that at least this e-reader turns off Bluetooth after a while of not using it. So you always have to repair or turn on Bluetooth before you start your reading session. That's probably because of battery consumption. So let's start scan again. Kobo. Can also make it discover. Ah, okay, then it works. Here we go. Galaxy Pixel Watch. Sometimes it takes a while and also several times. Now, there we go. Okay, now we are connected. Let's go back and open a book. And now I want to show you from the close-up how I can move forward and backward. And this is quite nice for when you're laying down in bed. For example, leaning your Kindle close to a pillow and then being wrapped in your burrito and yeah, enjoy reading without having your hands out. Or it's also nice when you're together with your loved ones and you want to read together while cuddling, and you can just yeah, turn the page with a tap on your bed or on the shoulder of your partner. That's also working, or just via normal pinch taps. If the companion phone has already a pairing between your watch, it's not possible to control your device and pair as a mouse. Yeah, Samsung or Google is restricting that due to this companion pairing. And if you try to override that with third-party apps, it asks you to reset your watch and you can't go back from that stage. So you have to reset your watch in that moment. So we highly recommend to not try it until we fix that topic, either with a companion or another solution. At the moment, we have no solution to connect your watch to your companion phone and try to connect to different devices like your Android TV, your iPad, or your Kindle, or your computer. Now, this watch isn't paired with the phone as a companion watch, so I am able to pair it over the start scan mode. Let's try TXP. Looks like just connecting. Let's call it. Okay, there we go. And now I can. Okay, I'm happy to put this on. I have basically the possibility to use it as mouse, or you have the possibility to use it for media control. And pause play with double tap. And turn off gesture detection with a wiggle. Right. If you want to pair WowMouse with your Chromecast TV or Android TV, that's also possible. I'm gonna walk you quickly through it. Basically, you start to bring your Chromecast into pairing mode, and then on your watch, go to scan, and then you should see Chromecast, and it asks to pair, and if things like now aren't working, you just have to initiate it again on the other end, like here. Just disconnect again and connect, and then it should work. Sometimes it needs some back and forth because it's not used to this kind of connection. Yeah, now it's connected. And as you see, there's a mouse, but we want rather the clicker mode, and I need to make sure that tab is mapped to, or double tap is mapped to enter. Palm up tab is mapped to Android, mod enter, that fits. And yeah, flick up, down, left, right, that's good. And now we go home. Yeah. And it feels quite magic to navigate through. And forward, you can flick right, you can skip forward. Watch Netflix, YouTube. And the cool thing is, your TV is off, you just basically pair to your Chromecast, and then you just do gesture, and then you see the TV is turning on. And you don't need even to touch your remote to control your Android TV. Yeah, that's basically WowMouse for Android TV. I can also connect it to my Windows, as I'm gonna show you now. Search for devices and also make it discoverable. Yeah. And it should appear here, or we can also, if we don't see it, we can also use it from that end. Windows works. Yes, yeah. Okay, let's go to mouse. Yeah, and we can control the mouse. And yeah, here let's change the mapping to palm up tab could be in Chrome, alt left is to go one page back, and we activate double tap. Double tap could be double click. Usually you need that on desktop computers. And palm up tab can recommend to map it to mod plus D. That should do the job. And flick detection, scroll up, scroll down, flick right, left. Okay, that works. Lost connection, let's connect again. Yeah, and now I should be able to scroll. But yeah, here, for example, I can also make it full screen, play with the controls, double tap again to move full screen, scroll through a list. Yeah, basically you can navigate through a whole system with that. And if you're on a page like Netflix or something, or here you want to just go and jump forward or backwards and don't want to move the cursor, you can do it with the clicker mode. And if you just want to control media, oh, now I toggled the music on my phone, but yeah, you get the idea. You can control your media at home. If you experience interference between media players, just close one. Next, I want to show you the connection to a Mac. Here, pair it with my Mac. So let's bring our Mac into a pairing situation. Or as you see, it doesn't work on first try. I just jump to the other mode. Now it popped up. Okay. Now it works, yeah. And I see I can, yeah, use it the same way. And if it connects to your watch as a headphone, as you see it now, that sometimes happens because of this HID protocol. Yeah, you have to just switch it manually back to PC speakers. Yeah, and Yeah, now I want to just use it as media control and pause play or increase volume. You see which watches we currently support. We can recommend to use Galaxy watches or Pixel watches starting from 2, or TIC watches. And also Apple Watch, we recently launched an app on the App Store, but it's kind of, you can see it as WowMouse Lite, because we are at the moment only able to connect to companion apps that are ready for Mac and Android. You aren't able to connect to iOS devices, iPad, Windows, Linux, but we are exploring this at the moment. Right, and yeah, here's also a list of devices we tested to pair with. So yeah, Android TV, cool. Samsung DeX is also pretty powerful. If you have it, for example, with X-Real glasses and connect your Samsung phone, that is like magic. Yeah, and devices like spectacles and Brilliant Labs, these are the upcoming smart glasses or AR glasses. Here we have our Touch SDK, with which you can build your own custom integrations. Right? It gets especially sweet when you're on the way. You have glasses like I wear, the Meta Ray-Ban, and while doing workouts and using it with the watch together, it feels like you're living in the year of 2030, and yeah, makes the interaction much more subtle, like never before. Sitting in a cafe, reading a book, and listening to some lo-fi in the background and just doing this, and yeah, it feels like a gesture that we could need in the future, especially, or gestures that we could need, especially when interacting with smart glasses. As soon as they get output, it gets very powerful, because there you have this lack of input, lack of compute and battery, and outsourcing it to the wrist makes total sense. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to that time. If you have questions, definitely contact us on our Discord. You can just post your questions here, or in our support, just add another post here, and then we answer your questions. We try to implement your feedback. It's very valuable for us. So yeah, please help us to make this better. And yeah, please leave us a review on Google Play Store. That helps us a lot to jump higher in the list of known apps. That's basically it. Thanks for using it. For the pro users, I also have a little gimmick that I figured out to be quite useful. You can map in media mode. There's still palm up tap and palm up double tap unmapped, and we can map that to features, to shortcuts basically on iOS and iPad OS. And for example, you could map it here, like palm up tap is at the moment mapped to right click on my end, and palm up double tap to middle click. And then you go to settings, accessibility, touch, assistive touch, and devices, under pointer devices. And here you see your Bluetooth device, and now you can basically, when you hit customize additional, so now I'm triggering right click, yeah, and you can map it to any system commands that you like, or any accessibility command, or scroll gestures, or assistive touch, whatever. And the magic part is shortcuts. Here you can basically map it to whatever you like, and I like to map it to noise cancelling. That is so powerful. And then I map palm up double tap to transparent mode. And I created that shortcut previously, like transparent, in the shortcuts app. So now basically when I do tap, it activates cancellation. And when I do palm up tap, it activates transparent. And it happens in the background, you won't see it. It also needs AirPods to be connected, that's why it's not continuing here. But yeah, you basically just need to create a shortcut with that command. Just search for set noise, and then you can just root and find your AirPods and then set to noise cancellation or noise transparent. Yeah, just create 2 shortcuts for each event and map them to your gestures. And you can also go to keyboard in accessibilities, keyboards and typing, and under full keyboard access, when you activate that, you can change commands basically. For example, you have a keyboard, let's say, for example, tab or backspace, whatever is not mapped to anything else. Let's check what happens when you, tab is now on the key tab. And also here you can go to shortcuts and, for example, control your smart home, open shades. And like now I go to open shade, I press this key, like this is the tab key, and then done. It's in use. Okay, then let's check where it is in use. Probably somewhere move forwards. Let's clear that. And you want to open shade, tab, done. Now when I press tab, it runs the shortcut to open my shades. And that's basically one way you can control your smart home. You can also map, flick up, flick down to control lights, brightness and stuff. And yeah, possibilities are endless as you have the power of shortcuts. And here you can control your HomeKit or Home Assistant, and yeah, and here you have all your lights available. That's very nice. A lot to explore for the tinkerers and smart home nerds out there. Right, that as a little side note.